Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Rick and Morty's house. Here are the houses from all of the different angles that you might want to have a look at it from. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Rick and Morty is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, so this was especially fun for me to build and design, and I'm hoping that you guys appreciate it as much as I do. If you do enjoy the content, please do remember to hit that like button. It's really, really important. It helps me out no end, and of course it inspires me to follow more requests and to make what you guys want to see. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, why don't I actually show you how to make this thing? So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some red terracotta, white concrete, orange terracotta, light blue glass, dark oak wood stairs, dark oak wood slabs, acacia wood slabs, acacia fence, and some oak leaves. By the way, I'm really not sure whether it's pronounced acacia or acacia. It doesn't matter. You're looking for the orangey wood. We also need all of the other materials that you can see in the inventory. Once you have all of that stuff, we can begin the build, and we will need everything. So once you have all of that, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and by the way, this house, including the garden, big area, will require a 41 block coming across the front by a 49 block area of land in your Minecraft world. If you like, you can dig out that same area in your world to help you better plan out the build. If you do that, I'm going to start on the very front bottom right hand corner of the area that I've made. I'm going to count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go left 1, and this is where I'm going to start off. So I'm going to start off by placing 2 white concrete going left. 1, 2. I'm going to place an orange terracotta, 2 glass, 1, 2. Orange terracotta, 2 glass, 1, 2. Orange, 2 white concrete, 1, 2. And then I'm going to move back from that concrete. I'm actually going to move back by 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3, like this. On top of that third block, I'm going to go up by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We then want to take this 12th block and we want to extend it to the right by 2, 1, 2. Then down 2, 1, 2. We then want to place an orange terracotta underneath it. We want to go down from that orange terracotta by 3, 1, 2, 3. But we also want to go right of that orange terracotta by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go down from that block by 3, 1, 2, 3. But also take the middle block and split it down by 3. You can then fill in between these 3 rows of orange terracotta. You can fill in between them using light blue glass, like this. If you ever plan out on walking out onto the balcony, just knock out some blocks, place a door there, or just don't place a door there. That's also an option. Grab some white concrete, and you want to come all the way back up to where we connected down to the windows, and we want to take this row of white concrete, we want to extend it to the right, and the goal is to connect down to the ground exactly where we started the build. So we want to connect it down to the ground, and we want to extend it forwards until we have a frame laid out for us, as you can see here. Once you've connected down to the ground in this fashion, you want to take every orange terracotta that you have on the ground level, every glass, and extend them each up by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we can fill in between these, as we did just upstairs, in using light blue glass. And place a layer of white concrete directly on top of those windows. And you can even extend that row of white concrete left and right by 2, and you can connect it to the actual big part of the building like this. And then you can just simply fill in between the gaps using your white concrete on both the right and on the left as well. And this will make things a little bit easier once we have done that. And it'd be even easier if you fill the upper part of this build in using white concrete too. So if you fill it all the way around the windows, and maybe even underneath the windows a little bit too, then if you fill all that in with white concrete, it makes this next bit just a little bit easier. So there you go, that's mostly a little bit of the front part of the house, the right hand side of the house at least. What we now want to do is we want to use our dark oak wood stairs, and we want to go all the way around the top of the lower part of the house. So around the top of the windows on the lower part of the house, just run a row of dark oak wood stairs going all the way around. Then do a row of dark oak wood stairs directly on top of the white concrete, and do make sure that it's even all the way around, or maybe even not. We could even leave one block alone. Nah, I prefer it. I prefer it like this actually. And then just fill the top of it in using dark oak wood slabs like this. Perfect. Then all we can do is place a layer of acacia fence, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Acacia just because that's what I've called it forever. It's probably wrong, but whatever. You know, sometimes you're wrong. And that is the front of the house. We also want to grab some red terracotta, and we want to take the bottom two corners of the front part of the house. We want to extend them out in front of each other. We want to do 3 rows of terracotta. We want to do 1, 2, 3. And we want to do 1, 2, 3. Connect those together, right? So connect these together. And then place some oak leaves in this flower bed area, and then place the oak wood leaves on top of that. Yeah, and it's kind of weird to have a bush in front of a window, but believe it or not, that's how it is. I don't know why. Bad design. Anyway, what we now want to do is we want to take the very bottom left-hand side of the build. So here, you guys can see what I'm talking about right here, right? We want to take a row of 6 white concrete coming back from this block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to go left of that 6th block by 13 with the red terracotta. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But we're going to make things easy for us, right? So on top of this row of 13, going left on top of this row, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 white concrete, 1, 2. Then an orange concrete. We're going to leave a gap of 2 for the doors, and we're going to place another orange concrete. We're going to go up on top of the orange by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to connect the top 2 rows of orange together using light blue glass, like this. And we're going to place a layer of red terracotta directly underneath the door, orange row to orange row, like this. What we also want to do, we'll come back to this later, is we want to go left of the door, and we want to place a row of 4 white concrete. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. With 2 rows of glass on top of the last 2 blocks. 1, 2. Place some AC wood slabs underneath the 2 glass pane. That is going to help us out later. What we can even do, this might help us out now, is if we place rows of 4, actually it might be even better if we do rows of 5 white concrete on top of the red. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we extend it to the right, yeah? Just above the door, and then connect it down, we can actually just fill this in using white concrete. So instead of us doing all of the details of the house all in one go later, if we do it as we go around, by the time we get to the end part of the house, it's going to be nice and mostly done. So there we go, that's what we want to do. But what we also want to do is we want to take the last red terracotta block that we placed along the floor, and we want to extend it towards the front of the build by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to go left 1. We then want to place a red terracotta on top. We then want to place 4 white. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. We then want to go down by 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then want to connect down to the ground. Actually, it's not 4, is it? It's just 3, because what we want to do is we want to connect down to the ground using red terracotta. We want to have 2 rows down. Take this row that you have on the right and extend it to the left. So what that means is take every white concrete and every red terracotta and extend it to the left. You want to do a similar thing on the right hand side. You want to increase all of the red terracotta and white blocks to the right. You want to just drag them right. What we now want to do is we want to place a layer of white concrete directly behind the empty space that we have for the garage. So take every single block, every empty space for the garage, fill behind it in with white concrete. We want to knock out some rows. So we want to knock out this block, this block, this block, and this block, and this block, this block, this block, and this block, like this. We want to place on top of those blocks white quartz slab, like this. Wonderful. And behind those blocks, we want to place white concrete. So behind the empty spaces, white concrete. It'll end up looking a little something like that. And that's a pretty close texture to the door itself. What we also want to do is we want to create a pyramid on top of the garage. What this means is we want to take this top row of white concrete, and we want to place another row on top, but we want to shrink it by 1 block every single side until we eventually end up with simply 1 block like this. So simply 1 block on top like that. That's wonderful, guys. We're doing a really good job here. We now want to come to the left-hand side of the garage, and we want to take the red terracotta base of the garage, and we want to extend it to the left, towards the back of the house is better, by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add another row of red terracotta on top of that, but we also want to extend that backwards by 10, additional 10, with your white concrete. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and if you like, you can even add another row on top, like this. You could even, if you were so inclined, take the corner of the garage, which is this, and you could extend this backwards, and you could create a solid wall at the back of the garage, like this. And then if you start at the back of the garage and you look forwards towards the front of the garage, towards the front of the house even, we want to take the very base of the back of the house here, and we want to go left of it by 2 with the white concrete. We want to do 1, 2, place an orange terracotta, go up on top of it by 3, 1, 2, 3, then go left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, connect down like this, split up the middle, and place place light blue glass in between the empty spaces, like this. We also want to take the very base of the door, the orange terracotta that we connected to the door, and we want to extend this to the left by 3, 1, 2, 3. And we want to go up on top of this white concrete. I do believe you want to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will make you even with the right hand side. You can even connect it to the right hand side to make sure that it's right. And what we want to do now is we want to create the same pyramid shape as we did on the front. So if you just knock 1 block off every single side, every time, stack them, stack them, stack them until they get all the way up to the top. You just want to create that very simple pyramid shape. And then you can feel free to just completely fill the back of this in using your white concrete. Now, we do obviously have quite a few details to add. Also, fill in the left-hand side of the garage, by the way, the far side of the garage. Fill this in using white concrete too. We obviously have quite a bit of detail to add to Rick and Morty's house. It's not as straightforward as this. We do have little bits and bobs to do here, but this is a lot of the groundwork laid out for us. So once you've done the back part of the garage, what we want to do is we want to take the very bottom back left hand corner, which is this block, the one that connects down to the ground, and we want to extend it towards the front of the house by 2. We want to extend 1, 2 like that. Then we want to go left of that block across the back of the house by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. On top of this 13th block, go up by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This should mean that you can now connect to the front of the house. You can see how all of these things connect together. But you also want to take that 12 block and you want to extend it to the left by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you should now find that you can connect also to the front of the house. And you can also connect down from the corner, connecting down to the very bottom of the house. Take the block that hits the floor, go right of it by 1 the white concrete, place an orange terracotta, and go up on top of that terracotta by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go right, I know it is 4, it looks a little weird because it's tall, but it's 4. And then go right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then connect down to the ground. And split this up the middle, like this. Completely fill in between the doors using your light blue glass paint. Fill in between the doors with light blue glass paint, like this. And you'll just end up with something that should look like that. Perfect. Now we can completely fill this right hand side part of the house, fill this in using white concrete. This will take a little bit of a while. This house is actually rather big, and you know what, a cool kind of thing is, even if you weren't into Rick and Morty, as with a lot of these cartoon related builds, I mean some of the cartoon related builds are crazy. I mean, you know, you wouldn't want them as a house, but Rick and Morty's house is a very normal-ish, apart from all of the aliens and stuff, and you know, time travel-y, well, there's no time travel, like dimension-y rippy gadgets and stuff. It's for the most part, just a nice suburban house. It really is. So, you know, maybe even if you weren't into Rick and Morty, maybe you'd take a look at this house and you'd be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice looking house. But anyway, that particular part of the house filled in. We will come back to that later, because what we now want to do is we want to basically, you see that front part of the house here? Yeah, that little middle part where the front door is. We want to make the back as high as that. We should be able to achieve this by adding a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white concrete on top of the back part of the house. And we want to make this entire back part, we want to make it as high as the front, basically, because it is going to connect together in a very logical, normal way like this. The next part that we're actually going to do, and connect it to the garage as well, by the way. The next part of this is going to be to add the roofs on, and once the roofs are added on, we can then add details. So you can see most of the walls are filled in, most of them. There are some that are lacking, but we'll get to that in a bit. I mean, if you wanted to, I guess you could even fill in like the left-hand part of this, you know, the big part of the house on the right-hand side. You could even mostly fill this in with white concrete. It's just that some of this won't have to be filled in, but if you fill in the upper half of it with white concrete, then you're not wasting any blocks, and it'd probably have to be done anyway. So we're just going to fill this in, and then we can focus on the roofs, as I keep mentioning. We'll do the easiest one first. The easiest one is on the right hand side, and it is all but dependent from the rest of the house. So that is most of the walls filled in. We're going to do a roof. On the right hand side here, going all the way around the top of the white concrete, we're going to place a layer of dark oak wood stairs. So this is going to go all the way around in a rectangular shaped area. I do believe it's rectangular. I don't think it's square. No, it's not. Of course it's not. How silly of me. But we're going to place a layer of dark oak wood stairs going all the way around the top of this. And once we place the layer going all the way around, we're going to place a layer on top. So we're just going to go all the way around, and we're going to place a layer on top. And then it's kind of up to you to decide how many rows of stairs you want to add until it becomes a little bit redundant, how many rows and rows and rows of stairs you want to add until it becomes redundant. But what we're basically going to do is we're going to keep placing rows of dark oak wood stairs that sit above and inside the previous layers of stairs. You'll get tired of doing this eventually, trust me. And I'm thinking after this, after we've done this layer of stairs, which would make 3 in total, right? So that'd be 3, yeah? I'm going to do a layer of dark oak wood slabs that sits directly on top of this. I mean, you could even go for another layer, but it is a majoritively flat roof, to be honest. It really is kind of a bit more of a flatter roof. It does have tiles, it does like work its way up, as you can see that I've done here, but for the most part it is mainly just flat, and we're going to fill in the roof using dark oak wood slabs. Now if you would like to add a couple more layers to the roof, then feel free. I wouldn't, but feel free. No one's gonna stop you. Or will I? No, of course I'm not. Of course I'm not. That'd be crazy talk. But we're just going. There we go. I mean, that looks perfectly fine. That looks good to me. I don't know about you. That looks good to me. Now, once you got that sorted out, we can focus on the other part of the roof. So we actually need to fill this little area in next to the garage. I'm going to fill it in. First of all, I'm going to add a layer of red terracotta on top of this terracotta, and then I'm going to add white concrete on top of this until the white concrete is as high as the rest of the area. And basically, we want to, starting from like just above the right hand side of the door, we're going to place a row of dark oak wood stairs that starts just right there, and it's going to wrap around and it's going to sit on the side of the garage. And we want to place rows and rows and rows of dark oak wood stairs coming up to eventually reach an apex. As a matter of fact, it might be easier to do the garage roof first. It might be easier if you just do the garage roof by connecting the front of the garage to the back of the garage. Like if you just place the rows of dark oak wood stairs on the inside part of the roof. The outside part of the roof's easy because it doesn't connect to anything, basically. Like the inside part of the... What am I doing? There we go. The inside part of the roof is easy because it doesn't really connect to anything, but the outside part of the roof is ever so slightly different because, of course, it does connect. So there we go. So that's that inside part done. And then what we basically want to do is just like starting on this side. Do we want to start here? Yeah, we'll start on the back. I just want to make sure. We're going to start on the back, and we're going to basically place a row of dark oak wood stairs extending right, and it's going to connect to the garage just like it does on the front. So if you can see what I mean, like we're just going to connect it like it does on the front of the house. And then we just want to place rows of dark oak wood stairs eventually reaching an apex. So if you just like bring them in like this, like if you just extend them up and up and up, like in the center, if you kind of like lay out a little plan, just extend them up diagonally towards the middle part of the house, and then you can simply extend those stairs to the left and you can connect it to the garage. This is going to be easier to do once we have placed in some of these feeding rows. Like it should be easy to simply knock out a block and have it so that the stairs actually bridge the gap. So if you guys can see what I'm talking about, this is how we're doing the roof. It's it's a little bit trickier than I usually like to make roofs. I usually like to make roofs nice and easy. For some reason, roofs are just the most irritating part for me. They always are. But this is a pretty easy way to figure out where the roof's going to be, how big it is, and how it connects to the opposite end of the house. So like this. And then we're going to take these top two blocks, these ones that are like back to back to each other, which is how it's supposed to be. The roof is different to how the garage roof is. And then once we have like met the garage roof, connects at the top, we can just start at the bottom here and we can like knock out this block, extend it so it and replace it so that it actually connects properly, if you guys can see what I mean. So you can see that, oh, that's connected naturally now. Like if you delete the block that it connects to and replace it, then you will have a nice corner. So you can see that that connects a lot better. That's a lot nicer than what we had previously. And that's the roof for that part. It's very simple. And then if we start on the opposite end of the garage, if we start on the outside, we just want to once again place the rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of dark oak wood stairs, coming all the way up, eventually meeting the very top of the building. So eventually we'll reach the very top of the building, like you can see me doing now. Just place rows and rows and rows of roof. And once we've done that, once we've done this little bit, we're going to add some details to the house. So there are some details to Rick and Morty's house that we've not done yet. There's a satellite dish, there's an overhang above the front of the house, there's, oh by the way, the top of the roof is made out of dark oak wood slabs. This makes the roof a little bit pointier. There's a basketball net, there's all sorts of stuff. Also, make sure that the dark oak wood stairs overhang the front and back of the house by one row, and place a row of upside down stairs underneath the row of overhanging stairs. I'm sure that you guys are very familiar with how to make roofs look good, and this is one of the methods to do them. Make sure that the roof doesn't look flat, make sure that it has a shape, and make sure that it overhangs the actual house by one row. That stops it looking all flat and cartoony, which ironically is what Rick and Morty is. It's cartoon. So I suppose it is, it does want to look a little bit cartoony, but it's actually, like I say, it's a house that could very easily, like if you didn't know Rick and Morty and I put this up on the channel, it's like, brand new suburban style house, you wouldn't say anything about it. Like it just looked like a nice normal suburban style house. I might actually make one in this style, but there we go. That's the roof done all the way around. So two characteristics that we're going to add to this house. First one is a basketball net. This is going to be made out of quartz stairs, web, and some red terracotta. Just above the garage, we want to split the center of the garage, right? So we want to find the middle row. Just above the actual garage door, this block, we want to place a web. And one above, left, right, extend out the center block. Place a red terracotta behind the center of the net with a quartz block left and right. We want to place a quartz block above the red with quartz stairs left and right of the quartz block, like this. Basketball net. There's a satellite dish. The satellite dish, the location isn't as important as the dish itself. It needs some stone brick slabs, stone brick stairs, cobblestone wall. So somewhere in the corner of the roof, right about here. So let's say about here, right? We're gonna knock out a stair. Maybe here. Gonna knock out a stair. We're gonna place a stone brick with a wall on top, with 3 stone bricks coming up. 1, 2, 3. Extend the middle one, left and right by 1, like this, to create a plus shape, essentially is what it is. And place stone brick stairs around the center of this to create, well, I mean, kind of a circle, but not really. You guys know what I'm saying. we want to take the center block and we want to extend it. I mean, if you wanted to actually create a bit of a contrast, you could even place like a light grey concrete in the center or something. And then place 2 cobblestone wall coming out from the center. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a satellite dish. Looking pretty good. Another characteristic to add to the house is an overhang. So there is an overhang above the door. I don't really think I did it very well the first time that I did this, so I'll tell you what, we're going to do this on the fly. We're going to knock out every single stair above the door, and we're going to place a set of sideways stairs like this on the sides. So sideways stairs like this. We're going to have the sideways stairs extend forwards out of the house by 1. We want to meet them together in the middle diagonally using more sideways stairs like this. We also want to connect those sideways stairs to the actual center of the house. Like, is that connected? No, I have to place them sideways like that. There we go. And what we're now going to do is we're just going to place some dark oak wood slabs together, connecting them at the bottom. And we also want to place slabs underneath those slabs, and we want to connect them diagonally to the house in this sort of fashion, like that. I actually think that's the original way that I did it. Maybe that is the best way to do it, who knows. For the doorway, we're also going to place doors. So dark oak wood doors are actually a pretty fine mix. You can place them backwards, and then they'll line up with the glass. So then that won't look odd. Actually, it kind of does look odd. Maybe we want to use block for this. Maybe we want to use light blue block. Maybe that'll look a little bit better. I did think that pane might look better than that though, so that's fine. And then all we have to do is place them facing the right way, and that's not too bad. And once we've done that, we've done the characteristics on the front of the house. Let's add the characteristics on the back. So on the back there is an overhang / patio area. For this we need some dark oak wood slabs and some stone slabs. We want to take just below the roof on the right hand side and left hand side of the back of the garage area, and we want to place slabs, and we want to connect the rows of slabs left and right like this. And we want to take this row of slabs and we want to extend it in front of the house, or coming out the back of the house, I guess, by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'd be 6. And we're going to connect the corners down using the dark oak wood slabs like this. Connect the corners down. And then what we're going to do, once we've created this nice little overhang that we have here, once we've created this nice little overhang, we're just going to place a layer of stone slabs that sits between the corners and the house. So we're going to go around the corners and the house like this. And we're going to place an additional layer of slabs. So we're going to make like solid blocks, or you can't really make like solid just stone slab blocks, but you guys get the idea, stacked on top of each other. And we're going to, underneath the door area, so underneath the door, we're going to place stone slabs like this. And that is going to create the patio area. There is one more major part of the house that we're missing. So there is a shed at the back of Rick and Morty's house. There's a shed. If you know the show, then it's right next to that shed. Rick and Morty have been buried. You guys know the episode that I'm talking about if you've ever watched the show. We need white concrete, dark oak wood, and dark oak wood stairs. So we're going to start in the very back corner boundaries of the house. We're going to start on top of the grass, and we're going to place a row of 4 white concrete coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to extend that 4th white concrete towards us. We're going to do like a row of, say, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to connect it down like this. We're going to take that row of 5. We're going to extend it to the right by, let's say, by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to connect it down like this. We're going to fill the inside of this in using dark oak wood slabs. I mean, the inside of it is kind of like slabs, pretty much. I mean, it's like dark oak wood. It's wooden. It's supposed to be what I think is like a tool shed. I'm not sure I've ever seen them use it in the show. And we want to connect the building together. So we kind of want to place like white concrete coming across the back. We want to create a box shape like this. And we can fill in the sides of the shape using the white concrete like so. What we also want to do, once we have just filled in these sides, we want to give it a roof. So I'll show you guys how to do the roof in just a mo. The roof's very simple. We want to use our dark oak wood slabs, and we want to create a pyramid shape on top of the front and back of the house. You guys are familiar with this pyramid, like this. That's on the top front part of the garden shed, and on the back we want the same thing. And what we're going to do once we have created this pyramid of ours is we are going to run rows of dark oak wood stairs on the left and right hand side of this. So on the left hand side, rows and rows and rows and rows of stairs coming all the way up the side like this. Eventually it will reach the top, which will be made out of dark oak wood slabs. And on the right hand side we want to do the same sort of deal. And once we have done this, all we'll have to do is we'll just have to add like a garden boundaries, a little bit of hedging and stuff, like nothing too major, unless you want to replace the grass. That is a different story. That will take you a long time, trust me. One of the hardest parts about these cartoon builds is I prefer artificial grass. Rows and rows of terracotta, green and lime. It takes a while. That is the only downside. Extend the roof outwards in front of the build and back of the build by 1 row. You guys should know that. I'm sure that you guys have figured that out. And also place upside down blocks underneath the overhanging part of the roof. Once again, I'm sure that you guys didn't need any help in figuring that out at all. And that is the shed that is present in the back garden for the show. So there are a couple more things that we're going to do. So there is a fence that goes all the way, more of a wall really, that goes all the way around Rick and Morty's back garden. So we're going to grab terracotta, just regular terracotta, and we're going to eye up. You see, the opposite side of the build where we have that flower bed, we want our garden wall to start here in line with that on the outer boundaries of the house, and we want it to go all the way around. We actually it's going to overhang the front of the garden bed by 1, and we want it to go all the way around the boundaries of the house. Now you see, you can shrink this, you can add it, you can not add it, it's up to you, but we're just going to place a single row of wall going all the way around like this, and we're even going to extend it up a little bit later on. So let's just extend this all the way around. This is going to come all the way around the build, and it's going to stop 1 block in front of the flower bed on the front right hand side of the house. So we're just going to place in front of this 1 terracotta in front of the flower bed like that. That is absolutely perfect. Once you've done that, we have to add a gate. There is a gate on the left-hand side of the building. So there's a gate, right? The gate is made out of quartz and quartz slab, quartz stairs. So where the red terracotta stops, we're going to place a row of quartz coming left and breaking through the wall like this. And we want to have 2 rows of quartz like this. And then we want to have rows of back-to-back quartz stairs like this, guys, like this, on top of the quartz gate. If you want to use this, you'll break into this and you will actually place like a proper gate. So everywhere behind the gate, we want to place an additional row of terracotta going all the way around the build, because it's a pretty low wall otherwise, and we want to place just a single row of terracotta on top of the previous just 1 row of terracotta going all the way around the build. And this will, of course, once again come all the way around until we reach the flower bed, which is where we will start. And then after this, we just have, some really easy bits to add. So once you've done that, we've got to add a little bit of a flower bed. So where you have the single row of terracotta on the front of the house, yeah, on the left, we're going to double that up, maybe even triple that up, and we're going to extend this backwards. And this is going to hit the garden fence. We're going to grab oak leaves, and we're going to fill the center of this in with oak leaves, like this. And we're going to very sloppily add some oak leaves left and right, like this, just to kind of create like a normal, like flower beddy sort of grassy, leafy area. We also have a few more things to do. These are very simple things though, guys. This is more to do with paths and stuff. So for this, we need stone slabs, we need the light grey concrete, we need the red terracotta. in front of the garage, we want to place, and this is the entire width of the garage, coming as far as the flower pot area, we want to knock out this area, right? And we want to place stone slabs in this area. So we're going to just do the outline on recording, because I'm not going to do this on recording because it will take ages. But we're going to place this, and we'll knock all the way in this, and we'll place stone slabs. Coming out the front of the main entrance, we're going to destroy all of these 4 rows in front of the main entrance. It's going to come as far out as the garage drive, and all of these blocks, we're going to make the 2 end rows. Left and right, we're going to make them red terracotta, leading towards the street. And in between them, we're going to make the 2 middle rows. I guess I'm doing this bit on recording because it's kind of fast-ish. We're going to destroy this. And this is going to be stone. So that's what's going to happen for this part. The last 3 rows in front of the house, these 3, right, coming across the front of the build, are going to be light grey concrete. And that will expand all the way over to the left. And also, on the back of the house, we're going to just knock out behind the patio area, behind the patio doors, on the back right-hand side of the house. We're going to knock these out, and we're going to place stone slabs. This is to form an additional patio area parallel to the one on the opposite side of the house. And if I'm in the right mood, what I'll also do is I'll knock out every single row of grass. I'll knock out every single row. And I will place, I'll start from the front probably actually, because that's a bit easier to gauge things from. I'll knock out every single row, and I'll place this pattern. I'll place 2 lime terracotta, 1 green, 2 lime, coming all the way towards the back of the house. That is what I might do. And I'll also add some oak leaves in the form of bushes around the house too, just to kind of mess it up a bit. These are all of the jobs that I'm going to do now. All of these can be done without the tutorial. You guys will manage that no problem. It will be so easy for you to do it. But it's a pain to do it on recording because it takes so long. I'll be back in just a moment once I've done all of that. It'll probably take me a little while back in a mo. Right, so here we are, guys. This is Rick and Morty's house complete. As you can see, I've not made any alterations that I haven't talked about. I even did the grass, which was incredibly painful. So just to recap what has been done, I filled in the driveway, I added the street, I also added the walkway from the house to the actual street as well, and I even added some bushes around the house, mainly the front middle part and the back middle part. The patio, I believe, was already done, and all I did was add all of the artificial grass because I think it looks really nice, and it also makes the build contrast nicely between the rest of your Minecraft world. And that is everything. You guys should hopefully be able to manage to do all of that without my assistance. I'm sure that you'll manage to do that no problem. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I love Rick and Morty. I hope you guys do too. I hope this wasn't a tutorial for just like 10 people, but yeah, it's been a really good tutorial. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. It was so much fun to make. If you did, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. I really do. The like button is one of the most important things you could do. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more content like this. Subscribe. Click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you got all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you want to see a cartoon house or a movie house or something specific, comment that down below. That's the best thing you can do. Comment that down below. I've got a lot of cartoon related builds and stuff made just made through suggestions. Rick and Morty was suggested, as was everything that you can see around me. Stark Tower being one of the most blaring things in this world. Pet Patrol, etc. Gru's House, Despicable Me. All of that can be found in the card system, by the way. If you want to make some more cartoon related builds, want to make some awesome stuff, check out the card system in the description below, especially the Cartoon Houses playlist. That'll be down there once again, description below, in the card system too. A lot of cartoon related builds, big, small. We've done all sorts of stuff that I'm sure that you guys will enjoy. My most popular of which being Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.